Hello, welcome and namaste everybody. We welcome you all in our weekly family reunion of eSIP follow-up of UHV 1, SIP module 1. We have our source person and course pro Deepa Didi with us. Ji, Deepa Didi, namaste, welcome.
Namaste, Bhaiya.
Ji, namaste Didi. Didi, will you share the screen?
Yes,
Welcome.
yes, I'll share it from myself. Is it visible, Bhaiya?
Yes, Didi, visual. Welcome.
Oh, okay, thank you, Bhaiya. Thank you. Namaste, everyone. Welcoming you all to our weekly reunion on eSIP follow-up sessions, UHV module. So today we'll be discussing about natural environment, harmony in the nature. Till now, we started the first module. Actually, in student follow-up sessions, we start with interacting with the students. We will ask them to write about their concerns, and all these sessions, whatever we are discussing, are in terms of addressing their concerns. Our basic aspiration is happiness and prosperity in continuity, and the program is understanding harmony and living in harmony in all 4 levels. So now we are discussing about harmony in the nature. For that, we need to understand about nature. So this is what we discussed. So far, we have explored our natural acceptance. We all know what natural acceptance is. It is intrinsic in every one of us. It is same for all. Our natural acceptance is for living in harmony as an individual, as a family, as a society. So now in this session, we are going to check, is there any provision in nature or existence for living in accordance with our natural acceptance? Is it possible to live in harmony as an individual, as a family, as a society? So let me ask you one question here. Is coexistence, mutual fulfillment inherent in nature, or is the design of nature or existence by way of opposition, struggle, survival of the fittest? What do you think about this? If you think this coexistence and mutual fulfillment is inherent in nature, you can respond it as A in the chat box. And if you think there is a struggle for survival, opposition, everything they are in the nature, then you can write B. Kindly respond. All of you can respond to the chat box. If any of you want to respond, share your reflections, mics also can be provided. So what do you think about this? Is this coexistence and mutual fulfillment inherent in nature, or nature or existence, the struggle is their opposition and survival of the fittest? Anyway, our natural acceptance is living in harmony in all the levels, individual, family, and society, and also in nature and existence. So there is a provision in nature for coexistence and mutual fulfillment, and this is inherent in nature. Anyway, we will explore it. For this, we need to understand the nature. What is meant by nature? We know there are different units in nature. When we look around, we can see air, water, trees, soil, animal body, birds, animals, self, human body, human beings, earth, moon, sun, metals, many things in the nature. What do you think about this? If we want to understand the nature, we need to study each of them separately. Will it be an easy task? So we'll do one thing. We will group it into different orders so that it will be easy for us to learn about nature, to understand nature. So we can group it into 4 orders. All units are categorized into 4 orders based on some of the intrinsic properties in them. We know there are many other classifications. This is also one way of categorization. Maybe from our school days, then we learned about another classification, living things, non-living things. But here, we are classifying it into 4 orders. It is different from that classification. Anyway, we will try to understand the nature through this classification or categorization. So physical order is there, soil, metal, all these things combined together, we call it as physical order. So if we look outside in the nature, we can see hills, rocks, water, how the how they are forming in nature, what is the way of their formation. Formation and deformation is there. Are we able to see this? Soil, rocks are there. They are getting decomposed and will get soil. Glaciers melt. Streams are there. Rivers are there. Water is there. Metal. So all these units we can see formation and deformation is there. Changing from one form to another. Are we able to see this? So this is the intrinsic characteristic of physical order. Anything, we can see the buildings also there in the nature. Man-made things. So all these things form a part of the nature. Now we'll go for the second classification. That's known as bioorder. Plants and trees will come under this categorization. What can be the difference? Physical order and bioorder. Growth is there. Respiration also is there. Are we able to see this? So maybe I'll tell you one example. Like in our house, there are many plants. So we can see that the plants are growing. Flowers are there. Sometimes fruits are also there in the plants. We need to water the plants. Maybe after 1 or 2 weeks, we can see the growth. But are we able to see any change in our house? That also is a part of the nature. If you are leaving your house and coming back after 2 weeks, whether we'll be able to see any change? No growth is there. But with respect to the plants and trees, we can see this growth. And also respiration is there. And now if we move to the next order, animal order, animals and birds. We can see animals, birds outside. So what is the difference if we compare it with this physical order and bio order? Like the bio order, in animal order also, growth is there, respiration is there, and also we can see some other properties also. Like if we think that we have a small pet there in our home, a puppy, we can give some name to that puppy and we can call the puppy Tommy. If someone is bringing that puppy to the first day to your home, the first day it won't be able to recognize the name. You are giving some milk, some food, calling it puppy, taking care of it. Within 1 or 2 days, it will be able to recognize the name. When we are calling puppy, it will come and it will be obeying our instructions. Are we able to see this? But what about the plants? If you are naming a plant and calling with that name, it won't be able to recognize the name. So there we are able to see the difference between bio order and animal order. Then what about human order? Where we all belong. This growth is there, respiration is there, and we have more power. We have the power of understanding the things. Is it there with the animals? They can just recognize the name. That means they will be able to assume something. We can train some of the animals, but we won't be able to teach them the lessons as we are teaching the students. They are not having the power of knowing. So that's the difference between animal order and human order. That means self is there in animal order and human order, but the self is more developed in human order. We have the power of knowing. But with respect to animal order, only assuming is there. Self is not that developed. So this way, we are able to classify all the units in the nature. Physical order, formation and deformation, change from one form to other form, one state to another state, bio order, growth is there, respiration is there, animal order, along with growth and respiration, it has the power of assuming. That indicates the presence of self. This power of assuming, it is indicating the presence of self. What about human order? Along with this assuming, it has the power of knowing. All of us, we have the power of knowing. Growth is there, respiration is there, and we have a more developed self also. So this way, we can classify or categorize different units in nature. Now we'll try to understand it more. If any questions or even any reflections, any comments? If we move forward. Now we'll study the relationship of mutual fulfillment between these orders. Between physical order and bio order, we can see an interconnectedness, interdependence, mutual fulfillment. And this mutual fulfillment is cyclic. Every unit is getting enriched. How it happens? Physical order, soil is there, water is there, metals are there, minerals are there. And in bio order, we can see these plants and trees. Plants and trees, for their growth, they will be depending this physical order. They take the nutrients from the soil. They take water from the soil. And it will be helping in the growth of the plants. Plants will be able to get all the things, whatever is required for its growth from the nature, from physical order. What about the physical order? Will it get anything back? When the life of a plant is over, it will go back to the soil. Otherwise also, leaves will be falling down, fruits are falling down. All those things will enrich this soil. Soil will get fertile. Are we able to see this? This mutual fulfillment between physical order and bio order. So there is a relatedness. There is a fulfillment between bio order and physical order. Now, if we move forward, we have this animal order also. Between physical order, bio order, and animal order, are we able to see this interconnectedness, interdependence? If we take the case of animal order, animals, birds, they will be taking the things both from physical order and from bio order. We can take the example of a cow. For its living, cow will be depending on the plants, grass, and in return, cow dung, it will act as the manure for the plants. And also, some of the birds, insects, all these things, they will be helping in the pollination of the plants. And from the physical order also, these animals, they will enrich the soil. Cow dung, many other animal residues, and those things, when they go back to the soil, it will enrich the soil and make the soil fertile. And in return, everything, whatever the animal requires for its growth, it needs air, water, all those things, taking from the physical order. If we take the example of a forest, we can see a lush green forest with many plants, many trees. We as human beings, we are not doing anything for the growth of the plants in the forest. Mutual enrichment between these three orders are happening there naturally, without any human interaction. Are we able to see this? Forest is a very good example to explain the interaction, interdependence, and mutual fulfillment of these three orders. Are we able to see this? Any comments? Any reflections? So now, if we go ahead, what about human order? We all belong to this group, human beings. Physical order, bio order, animal order, they are enriching each other. But what about human order? Are we able to enrich these three orders? We need everything for our growth. We are depending on the physical order for constructing our buildings, for our daily life. We need many things that we take from the physical order: soil, metal, rocks, water, minerals. We are depending on the bio order also for our food, for our livelihood, plants, trees, cutting down the trees, constructing the buildings, bridges, taking all fruits, deforestation. Then we are also depending on the animals and birds. But what in return we are giving back? Are we able to give anything back to the physical order, to the bio order, animal order? Without right understanding, if we have the right understanding, we will be able to do many things. Without right understanding, this human order is not fulfilling any of the four orders. Are we able to see this? What do you think about this? This physical order, bio order, animal order, human order, all are there in the nature. We can classify the units into these orders. And if we observe it carefully, we can see this relationship also between the orders. We can see the mutual fulfillment between these orders. Like there is a mutual fulfillment visible between this physical order, bio order, and animal order. But what about human order? Without depending on all these orders, human beings won't be able to survive. Or in other words, we need everything from the nature. Everything from the nature for our survival. Depending on all other units, all other orders. But are we able to fulfill the nature? Are we able to contribute for this mutual fulfillment? Just exploiting the nature. That's what we usually discuss in sustainable development. We have to preserve the nature for the future generations. We have to protect the nature for future generations. How it would be possible? With right understanding, we need to show our involvement, we need to show our participation in fulfilling the nature, in fulfilling all the three orders. Anyone want to say anything? Any reflections? Any comments? But all of us, we have the natural acceptance to be mutually fulfilling. No need to think about others. Each of us can think about ourselves. Do I have this natural acceptance, this innate faculty? It's for mutual fulfillment. Then why is it happening? What we need to do? Once human beings understand, they can be fulfilling for four orders. So what is required? We need to develop that right understanding within us. Then we will be able to show our relationship with other three orders. And we can also be mutually fulfilling to each other. So right understanding is required. Are we able to see this? Now, if we see the quantity, abundance in nature, and if you are able to connect this interdependence and abundance in nature, we discussed about four orders: human order, animal order, bio order, and physical order. Physical order is available in largest quantity. In terms of quantity of units in each other, physical order is the largest order. Next comes bio order, then animal order. Human order is the smallest in terms of quantity. Quantity as per overall enrichment of the whole and availability of sustaining resources. We know the dependence. This is only regarding the quantity. But what about the dependence? We are on the top portion. In terms of quantity, we are very small. But we need to depend this animal order. We need to depend this bio order. We also need to depend this physical order for our survival. Are we able to see this? We are on the top in terms of quantity. But our dependence on all other three orders. Now, if we take this animal order for its survival, it's depending on the bio order and physical order. And what about bio order? Bio order, it depends on the physical order for its survival. Dependence of each order is on all the previous orders. So, survival of human order is dependent on all the three orders. Are we able to see this? So what do you think about this? In terms of quantity, human beings are less in number compared with this animal order, bio order, and physical order. But what about the implications of our interventions in nature? Are we able to contribute towards the mutual fulfillment of these orders? Or we are exploiting the nature? What do you think about this? Is it mutual fulfillment or exploitation? Kindly respond to the chat box. What is more prominent in the nature? Exploitation or mutual fulfillment? Why is it happening? If we think about a natural acceptance, all of us have the natural acceptance for mutual fulfillment. We don't want to be in opposition with any of the units in nature. We don't want to disturb the nature. We don't want to destroy the nature. Our natural acceptance is for being in harmony and for mutual fulfillment. Then also we can see that human beings, without right understanding, we are exploiting the nature. So what is the issue? Are we able to understand the nature? What do problems like pollution, resource depletion, climate change, global warming, all these are indicating? What do you think about this? What can be the reason? Are they occurring naturally or because of our intervention? So what we need to do in that case? We look outside in the nature. We as human beings, we are exploiting the nature and we are taking down the resources, polluting the nature. What is the reason for global warming? What can be the reason for climate change? Do you think that it occurs naturally? What can be the reason? If any of you want to respond, or how we will be able to suggest some solutions to overcome these problems? Are we able to see that these problems are due to the intervention of human being without right understanding? We are contributing to all these problems. So what need to be done? Each of us, do we have a responsibility to ensure our participation in the mutual fulfillment? Nowadays, everyone is talking about this sustainable development. Sustainability in all the sectors. What is actually meant by sustainability? Whenever we talk about a technology, everyone is opting for green technology. What it indicates? And if you have any experiences to share, our own contributions towards this, towards protecting the nature. Each of us will be able to do something in our daily life. All of us need resources for our food, for our clothing, for our shelter, everything we are getting from the nature. What we'll be able to give in return without exploitation, with the feeling of relationship. What can be done? Can anyone suggest some solutions from your own experience? Kindly respond. You can raise your hand. Mics will be provided. When we discuss, I think most of the participants are faculty members. When we discuss this content to the students, usually they will be seeing many options. In campuses, we are doing that. We have a nature club. We'll be planting the trees. And there is a campaign to avoid this plastic waste. We can listen to the students, many experiences. But what about our role as faculty members? What can be done? If we want to motivate the students, at least we should be able to show something in our own life. If they are able to see the real examples from our life, it will be helping them. Every time, yeah, like this Environment Day, June 5th, tree planting, many celebrations related to protection of the environment, mostly planting the trees in the campus. But how many of us are able to take care of the plants? We may have planted many trees during this Environment Day as a part of the celebration. But are we able to take care of these plants after that? Any reflections? Each of us can share our experience. It will be helpful for others also.
Namaste, Divaji.
Namaste, Didi.
Namaste. Actually, related to the sustainability, nowadays it is seen that as we are getting more mails from Kerala Technological University, All India Council of Technical Education, Green Environment Forum, the Energy Management Center, so many mails are coming, so that we were able to start some new programs related to that, and certain subjects were introduced into the syllabus. That is also helping. And as Divaji mentioned, environmental day, sustainable development day, and so many days are there. So as a part of this, in our institution, what we did this time is actually this it's a campus of around 30 acres, so many trees, greenery only, fully green campus only. So I used to see the ladies, those who are doing this cleaning work related to the campus, they will be having a lot of dry leaves. So they used to pack it, and they used to keep it to some places, and incinerator is there. So they used to use that like that. So many things were happening. So finally, in a meeting, we have discussed. So now, because of this rising temperature, it is not to use incinerator even. And so that what we did is, so we have started a composite pit. And as a starting, we took a 6x2 composite pit, and made by our students only, together with the technical staff. And in that, we have started this composite pit according to the norms that civil engineering students, they are knowing, faculty is knowing how to do that. So those dry leaves, green leaves, then some kind of jaggery like that and all, something they did. And now from that dry leaves, it is possible to have the manure, which is good for our. We have medicinal garden, and we have fruit garden, and we have started this something like Nakshatravana like that and all. So for all such things, and we have garden in front of our campus. So for all such things, we need this manure. So we can use that for all these purposes. So like that, seeing that, I was really happy. And a person from IRTC, Mundur, near Palakkad. That person also came and gave us enough advice how to do this in a better way, like that and all. So an attitude towards to have a sustainable environment. It is we are observing that now even in students, and also one waste to wealth. Such a campaign was there, so that also happened. I was very much in this. I was in very happy to see that the students are very much enthusiastic to do such a kind of projects, from waste to wealth, waste to bust. Such topics are coming and students are doing that, and how they converted all this waste into such good products. Being technical students, they are having enough ideas also. So without even spending money for a project development, they have converted all this waste into some good things with their own intellectual capabilities. So such things are happening, which is giving us a view that the coming generations are capable of keeping the sustainability. Although now it got deteriorated. So because this temperature rise and all, it is horrible only now. It is not at all possible to tolerate this like that. Everybody is happening. Everybody is telling. So such things are happening nowadays. So or with all these kind of activities, we can very well come up, I think. And also students came with another proposal from this water reusable methods. That also they have suggested something. So all such things are happening. I think all the classes that we are hearing through UHV and through other platforms and all towards this protecting this nature, it is getting into the minds of uh, the students and faculty, and they are coming up. So that is the reflection from my side
Very nice.
related to this. What all things we are doing? Okay, yes.
Very nice, ma'am. Actually, it's a very good sharing. So we just need to facilitate the students only. They will come forward. They are very enthusiastic. We just need to give them the, yeah, even they will be having better idea. We just need to facilitate it. Yeah, this is a very good example. Getting manure out of
Yes,
dry leaves.
yes, 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 yes.
Very
Yes,
good.
very. They used this also. I have forgotten to tell the
Mm.
vegetable waste from canteen, and also this tea, this thing now after filtering, you
Mm.
will be getting now this tea powder waste. That also they used. Using all such things only they did. So that will take around 21 days and all to become manure and all. So IRTC scientists gave them some suggestions to do in a better way next time. Such things happened. So
Very nice.
happy to share that. Okay.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Yeah, anyone else want to share something from your experience from the campuses or your own example? Even in our home, we can practice many things. If you want to share anything, pollution, resource depletion, global warming. Every time we listen to all this, we'll be taking some pledge. Oh, I'll be changing my habit, and I won't be using plastic. Plastic anymore, and maybe doing something to protecting the nature, but how far we are able to implement the things in our life is nice. Yeah, I can tell you some example from my own experience. Actually, my background is civil engineering. When I did my research, uh, topic of before coming to this teaching, I was working with a voluntary organization that was promoting this cost effective and environment friendly construction. Here in Kerala, many such buildings are constructed. Earlier, architect Laurie Becker was there, and I was working with Nirmiti Kendra. They were promoting this cost effective and environment friendly construction. When I completed my BTech, I joined with that organization, and it was a very good experience for me. So when I joined this academic field, I thought I'll in my research also I'll be looking for this technology for some materials which can be environment friendly. So that with that idea, I was able to work on rice's cash. You know what rice's cash is? Rice's cash is the waste actually. We usually from paddy, we can get rice husk, and rice husk is having a fuel value. So in many places we use rice's cash fuel. So the ash, whatever we are getting out of it, it will be dumped in some places. Here in Kerala, actually in rice mills, they use this rice's cash fuel. And after that, they will be dumping this ash. And that is having, the main content is silica. Because of the silica content, it is very difficult to dispose this waste. The silica content has another advantage. It will be having the pozzolanic property. If the silica is amorphous, it may be able to get the pozzolanic property. With this pozzolanic property, it can replace a part of the cement. When we think about cement production, it is highly resource intensive, highly energy intensive. Without cement, we won't be able to think about a construction. So if you are able to replace it partially, that itself will give an advantage. So I was working with rice's cash in my PhD thesis, and later now there are many students working under me. They all are working in different waste materials to utilize in construction, either as aggregate replacement or as this cement replacement. And some of the students are working in geopolymers. Pozzolana actually can replace a partial cement replacement, but this geopolymers can replace cement completely. So in whatever field we are working, if you are able to connect our research interest, considering our responsibility towards nature, that will be helpful. And as teachers, we can become the facilitators. The students will be having many more ideas than us. Yes, this is what I thought of sharing with you. Any of you have any sharing or any reflections? Mics are provided to almost everyone, so you can unmute and speak. Like what Devi ma'am was saying, it was a very nice example. Yes. Yeah, now we can sum up the session. So this is what we discussed. In nature, there are different units. Nature by way of the nature as such, harmony is intrinsic in it. We don't want to create the harmony. We just need to identify the harmony only. With right understanding, we just need to show our responsibility towards the nature. So in nature, we can classify it into 4 orders: physical order, soil, metal, air, water, etc. Bio order, trees and plants. Animal order, animals, birds, etc. Human order, human beings. So nature is a collection of units, 4 orders. Relationship of mutual fulfillment is there. There is a relationship of mutual fulfillment among these 4 orders. The first 3 orders are mutually fulfilling to each other. They are fulfilling with human beings also. It is naturally acceptable to human beings to be fulfilling for all orders. The role of human being is to realize this mutual fulfillment. For this, all that human beings need to do is to understand the mutual fulfillment that is inherent in nature. We don't have to create it. Very easy, something is there. We don't need to create it. And just to live according to that. To understand and live according to that. Then the mutual fulfillment among the four orders will be realized. And there is a provision in nature for living with mutual fulfillment. We started with this only. Are we able to see this provision in the nature? Or do we think that there is struggle for survival? Usually we discuss about that. Struggle for the survival of the fittest. But what do you think about this? What can be done? So there are some questions for home assignment also. Usually we discuss in SIP. So we'll discuss the same questions now. Global warming and resource depletion are two problems of current type. Are these natural occurrences or are they due to lack of right understanding of nature? What we think about this? Are they naturally occurring or due to lack of right understanding of human beings? Lack of right understanding of nature. Without the action of human being, without right understanding, human being without right understanding. What do you think about this? Global warming and resource depletion. Yeah, you can respond to the chat box. Naturally occurring or due to lack of right understanding. A or B. If you think natural occurrence, it's a right understanding. We are very sure, pretty sure that without right understanding of the nature. Because in nature itself, harmony is there. We just need to understand and live according to that. We see this question. Do we human beings have a role to play in nature? To further develop the harmony in nature. At least not to disturb the harmony in nature. Yes. To further develop the harmony in nature. Do we need to develop the harmony in nature? It is there already. We don't need to develop anything. What we need to do is, at least we can keep us away from disturbing that harmony. It is already there, intrinsic in nature. To make right utilization of physical facility. How is it possible? When we discussed about prosperity. Prosperity is a feeling of having more than required physical facility. If I am having this feeling, I won't exploit the nature. Without the feeling of prosperity, every time I'll be feeling deprived and I'll be involved in with exploitation. So what is required in this case? I can rightly utilize the physical facility. With that feeling of prosperity, I need physical facility. It's the requirement of the body. I won't be able to negate that need. So with the feeling of prosperity, right utilization of the physical facility can be done. All those things are coming from the nature only. So there also I can see my role. Right utilization of the physical facility. So what about the third statement? To evolve a way of living in harmony with nature. How can we evolve that way of living in harmony with nature? If you are able to understand nature and then live according to that harmony, each of us can identify, we can suggest some measures that we are going to adopt in our daily life. It's the role, it's the responsibility of every human being. So maybe we can think about when we are discussing this content with the students, we can ask them to write down some points that will help them to explore further. We don't need to mention them the things. They will be able to write down many suggestions. So what's the third question? What are some of the activities we can do in contributing to the harmony in nature? Yes. That also very nice. We can discuss with the students. When we discuss this content with the students, especially this nature and general issues around us, students are very enthusiastic in contributing their own ideas. We can just help them in creating this awareness. So any reflections, any comments? In our own life, we can adopt different ways to maintain this harmony in nature. Actually, each one of us has this innate faculty of natural acceptance. And in all the four levels, if I'm able to see this harmony and maintain the harmony and live according to that harmony, we'll be able to continue, we'll be able to live our life with continuous happiness and prosperity. So till now, in this eSIP follow-up sessions of the student election program, we were discussing about harmony in each level, starting with the individual level. There we discussed about the proposal regarding human being as coexistence of self and body. Then we discussed about the concerns of the students in the individual level and how this UHV can help them in addressing those concerns. Then we discussed the next level, family. There also we were discussing the concerns of the students related with the issues in the family, relationship. There we discussed anger management, anger, trust issues. And then previous session we discussed about harmony in the society. And now today we discussed about harmony in the nature. And next Wednesday we'll be summing up this module UHV. So all of us will meet again next Wednesday. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Namaste. Over to you, Bhaiya. Parishit Bhaiya.
Thank you, Deepa Didi, and thank you all the course providers. We certainly like to have more such interesting session. We meet again next Wednesday for more exploration. Till then, note it down and explore on the assignments. Thank you, Deepa Didi, and thank you all the course providers. We call it a day. Namaste, everybody. Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste. Thank you.